That feeling of discomfort and uncertainty seized me momentarily, and I looked around at everyone else, then back down in front of my feet, and deep down I wanted to leave. But just as soon as I felt that and was working out a not so embarrassing reason not to proceed, one of the trainers came up to me, grabbed the rope, and led me away from the platform. So much for an escape strategy, genius. It's not that I didn't have time to bail out of this venture, in spite of having paid for it in advance and having built up the excitement of entering a phase in life where new things would be quickly embraced. Yet, I went kayaking first thing in the morning and realized that kayaks just don't suit me that well because I have a short torso and my legs, well, they are proportionate as well. By the time I got lunch and walked by the beach, I was offered a chance to do my next short excursion 2 hours earlier than originally scheduled. I said, sure, why not? The day sure was perfect, though. A clear blue sky and the occasional smattering of clouds above, crystalline waters crashing at the shore as the tram took us to the stables. I was transfixed by just being on a private island in the Bahamas, and I got there and I still experiencing the high of transformation when we arrived at the stables. You see, I signed up for a horseback tour that would go from land and into the ocean. At first, I was, well, that sounds interesting. Just curious about the horse riding thing for a long time, but like most people, these are activities that we often think are out of reach of even designed for other people, not us. I really needed a chance at pace and change of pace and definitely a new scene. After being downsized from that last job I would ever work at, I was ready, really inside to go undertake new things. First thing was to trust and love myself unconditionally. When I explain this concept to others, they react rather strangely, at least to me. I don't work. No, I do things and I don't know where money comes from, but no, I'm not concerned. I have complete freedom now. To the other humans who are still existing in those frequencies, it is a strange tale of solitude and abandonment, I guess. I wouldn't know. I laughed to myself. I know something they don't know. I closed my eyes and I, for a split second, took the reins. Or the reins, if you please. And held them in one hand. I sat on the saddle, not exactly feeling any love back. I suddenly winced when the horse named Express shifted his spine under me. I was that sensitive. I felt him move forward and then led by one of the trainers to a nearby fence so that we could wait for the others in our group. As I was led away from the platform, a voice in me laughed. Why, oh why do you do this? Every vacation it's going to do something physical. Isn't it drinking and eating and sleeping enough? Because these bodies are designed for movement. And as long as I can move, I will move it, I said to myself. Enough with recriminations. That's all me. And I just sat there. And so did the horse. I asked one of the trainers, but they really should have been more instructive. Tell me how to drive this creature. But no matter. No turning back now. The horse moved closer to the fence and simply did not move. He just stood there, by the fence. I took the reins and attempted to make him move, but why did I forget to kick him? Suddenly, every Western I've watched in childhood offered me no tips on how to hack the situation. Another trainer came running over on his horse, riding bareback, and took the reins and led me to my group leader. As of that moment, my horse and I would be tugged behind during the land tour, and I made no attempt to regain my horse's command from there on. I went along for the ride. It was a wonderful and bumpy experience, but then upon return, The plan was to dismount, then change into swimwear, and ditch all our shoes. The horses would get spooked in the water, they said, while swimming as water empties out of our shoes. Great. I can't wait to get off the horse and another one. Initially, I thought it was the same horse, but I found out they actually had different horses to come out to the beach to go into the water with us. I didn't know what he was called, but he pulled up next to me on the platform and I slid onto his back and he was more lively. I was also a bit more animated, having registered a previous riding experience, but going into the water on a horse was not something I could envision, at least not yet. We were all led by a section leader to the beach and lined up single files with it before, then followed another trainer in single file yet again. The water was cooler than expected, but it is March, and it was still refreshing. The tide was low and we entered the water, going deeper, then allowing the horses to swim. We were forced to wear a flotation device. These things always make me feel restrained, though I understood the need for safety gear. Just lacking in mobility was distracting. One minute I could feel horse legs pounding sand to splashing to floating. It was surreal. I was still feeling guarded, not letting myself express my sense of wonder and amazement, until it turned into a circle and began to head back to the shore. Someone in the group had taken to screaming since we did the land tour, and right on cue delivered yet another scream, in the water. I didn't turn to look. I just concerned myself with staying on the horse. Then the others broke out into a gaggle, and the single file formation scattered into a chaotic, bumpy mess. I was surrounded by all the riders, and they came really close to me when one brushed past me and tagged my leg. I kept cool and steered my horse the other direction when another guy came up from behind, apparently also trying to evade being pinned by the other horses. I think the trainer just lost control of the group. From that point on, he sped up to catch up with the rest of us. I heard his horse huffing and snorting to my right. I turned and saw into his eyes as it swam vigorously. I had never looked into a horse's eyes before. My head was spinning. I looked down at my horse. I took the reins and made slight adjustments. I steered a bit left and squeezed my leg up high. My feet curled up under my rear and I let him speed to the shore. I was riding a horse. My eyes swelling so much I thought they would bother their sockets. The horse next to me snorted loudly again and got ahead of us. I steered my horse a bit and he took an opening in the chaos and headed straight for the beach. How long has it been since we got on the water? Time slowed or sped up. I can tell. I laughed without making a sound, my mouth wide open in a huge smile. Never before had it just begun forevermore. My freedom is truly a reality. Why did I wait to give myself permission to experience life? It was a moment of magic, which I carry with me now.